So I'm here at SRD Tuning. This is over towards Brighton, Haywards Heath. I've brought the Supra here just to get a couple of things checked over on the map. I want to see if I can sort out anything at the cold start, because at the moment it's cold starts, it idles at around 1000 RPM. There's no sort of choke or anything on there, so it takes ages to get warm. So I want to see if there's anything we can do to sort that out, and obviously see if we can get a little bit more power squeezed out of it, maybe tweak the vernier pulleys and things like that. So we'll get it on the dyno and have a little look. These guys are obviously very much a Supra specialist, as you can tell. A few Supras knocking around. And that's GT4. And I believe under there is a very tasty Lexus IS. So Mike at SRD is the very friendly chap who helped me out with the gearbox setting on the ECU when we were having the hesitation issue at the very beginning. So Mike's going to have a look at the car and see what he can do to eke a little bit more power out of it. Maybe. I can hear a Supra's just started in the background. I believe this one is a 1000 horsepower Supra going on the dyno, so let's have a little listen. So just the paltry 909 horsepower then?
Yeah, fairly standard, you know.
I think that's similar to what we'll be getting, probably. I don't know, it's a guess.
It'd be 909 horsepower if you could rev it to 20,000 RPM. Yeah. It might make it.
Let's give it a go.
We get one run.
We'll get one pull, yeah?
Maybe after we get that pull, there's plug that gap those lines down and see if we can do the same thing. I got a funny feeling those plugs are fucked though.
I don't know if it's the plugs or if it's just literally the...
I know what you mean, like it's on the edge anyway, and we're pushing it.
Yeah.
Very nice of the guys to let me in on that dyno session there. A little bit emasculating having a 900 horsepower Supra just before my 200 and something horsepower Supra. But I mean, mine's a bit more unique, so who's the real winner? That's the real quiz. So I'm here with Mike. Mike is the absolute hero that saved the day last time when we were struggling with the hesitation issue. He managed to diagnose it pretty much straight away. I think it was within 2 hours. I think I sent you the logs and you'd got back to me saying, here's the issue. So I plugged in the laptop and fixed it. So it's all my doing, probably. I don't know. Anyway, so Mike's just going to get the car on the dyno now, have a little look at what we can do, and see if we can eke a bit more power out of it, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see where it's at. See what the car wants, see if we can squeeze some more out of it, make sure it's all healthy, and go from there.
Love that.
The good news is Ash is the man when it comes to anything NA and high-strung NA, so...
Go on then, Ash, show me what we've been doing wrong.
The sound of it sounds like there's a couple that are out.
I mean, it has got 272s in it, so...
It has.
We'll have to check, it's only going to take a few minutes, so... Probably do it whilst I strap it up.
I've been checking the airflow through the engine on all 6 cylinders. You can tell, you look, what we're up to, just under 4 there, down to 3, up at nearly 6, 5, 6, 5. So
in general it's running cold. Like if I'm going down the motorway or whatever, I don't know if it's literally something as simple as probably sounds stupid, but I am quite dense. But that there's a lot more sort of airflow going around because there's not all this here. I don't know if that is cooling itself down a little bit
Not
more.
necessarily.
But I have replaced the thermostat a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But then equally it has been sat for a while getting
What
these bits
thermostat did you
done.
put in it?
I can't remember at the time. That same thermostat was fine before, because I had the thermostat in before I did all this work,
Right.
and it was fine.
Yeah.
And then since we've done all the work, so I don't know whether the thermostat is crap that I've put in and it's,
Maybe
it's
just
gone.
building, but like you say, it's not. The heat's being taken away because it's so open. From
Yeah.
Here. It's on a viscous fan. It's got all its stock plastics in it, so you are directing all of that airflow straight through the radiator.
Yeah, I think when we dynoed it originally, we had the socks off, but I guess it's good to
we'll
know.
do a total back to back. How it arrived.
Cool.
What was it a decent run?
909.
Yeah, it's a bit better.
905.
No, that's what this one made actually.
That's pretty good with no turbo on it.
For whatever reason, because your coolant temp is running so low, just here having it running with the dyno fans on, where the temperature should normally regulate itself around 80, 90 degrees with the engine running, we're at 50 degrees. And I bet if I leave it running with the fans going on it even longer, basically it's just going to keep getting cooler and cooler. And what that means is that then, because the temperature goes so low, the computer thinks that it puts it back into what's called warm-up enrichment, which is normally just more fuel being put into the car because it thinks it's just been started and it's warming up from scratch basically.
Okay.
So we want to be operating here in terms of temperature, and we're kind of here.
Yeah. Could that be a reason why it's using so much fuel?
More than definitely. Yeah, if it's doing that on the road, I can guarantee you, because like I hopped in the car and the temperature gauge is like literally just off the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's why I went and grabbed my laptop, because I was like, oh, I bet that's really cold. Plugged it in, it's telling me we've got 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is too cold, basically. Let me try blocking the rad first so that it doesn't cool as efficiently. Coolant's kind of in the right area with that cardboard and not blocking the rad now. Not ideal, but at least it kind of gets us through the run without the ECU dicking around.
So the last dyno that we did, we had the wheel figure, I think, of 220, and then I think we had 258 at the fly. Now all the readings for this dyno, I think, are going to be at the wheels, so that's something to bear in mind in terms of conversion factors. So obviously we've seen that it's out of balance.
Yeah, so
How do you
obviously
go
I've done the
about
test and
balancing?
see if it's out of balance, and they're pulling different amount of vacuum through here. And then you've got these control rods. That one and that one. And that linkage. You see they go together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just need to either change it here on this part, or just adjust it on the rose joints. It's just not equal, you know, them two cylinders are being starved of air compared to the other four.
Yeah.
So it's all helping drivability for you. Switch it off a sec, right? Can you go full throttle for me?
red is how it came in, and blue is where we're at the minute.
So we're certainly getting somewhere. So that's the difference between 204 and 212
Yeah.
horsepower.
Timing is more or less maxed out at the minute. Yeah, we'll have to see now. Do some cam timing changes and then see what happens. See if we can change the shape of it slightly or what have you.
Cool. It's quite a big increase in torque actually, isn't it?
Yeah, decent amount.
From 168 to 180.
Should feel it a bit more around 5.5, the way it is at the minute.
Yeah. You can see there's a bit more, like that's a bit more of like a steadier curve, isn't it? How it came in. Whereas that's got a bit more of like a power band almost, hasn't it?
Yeah, I noticed after Ash balanced the throttles, it's changed the way basically the engine's processing the air. We're getting more in the mid-range than we were previously, even without me really touching anything. It's just the way the air is flowing through the engine now.
Sweet.
So that's good. So I hope that we can capitalise on that a little bit more.
100%. A little bit more.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. I like that. We basically gained everywhere, so can't really complain with that.
And that was on retarding the timing, was it?
Yeah, on the intake cam we retarded it slightly by 4 or 5 degrees on the cam. And yeah, picked up a load, so it's good.
As you could see on the graphs then, the changing the exhaust cam didn't seem to make any difference, and it was retarding the inlet cam is the one that made the difference. So we're going to settle with that. Mike's just going to go through the map now, just make sure everything's running all good. And then I think we're going to go and change the thermostat, as I suspect that the thermostat's gone, and so does Mike. So you got 219, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Final number.
It's alright.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm happy enough
yeah.
with what it's doing.
I'll let you off that 1 horsepower.
Yeah.
There's quite a difference there between when it came in and what it's at now. So the red line, see better on this big screen, the red line is where it came in. That was running at 204 horsepower. We're now at 219. So that's at the wheels, so at the fly it would be even more than that. The problem with judging things at the fly is that you can never get the exact horsepower because it is kind of guesswork. One last little thing we want to try is just try it with the socks off and see what power it makes, see the difference in power there. Obviously most of the time I'll be running it with the socks on, but it's just interesting to know, isn't it?
isn't it?
So what, we were at 219, we've gone from 219 to 245.
Especially up top, I can tell now without the filter on it, it wants another 5-6% fuel up top compared to what we were running before. So obviously the restriction that we had with the filters, you know, it can breathe so much easier now.
So it needs to compensate that with more fuel, yeah.
Correct, yeah. A bone stock TT Supra on this dyno does 270, 275. And if you're basically 30 horsepower off with an NA, I mean, that's pretty good going, I'm not gonna lie.
What do you think fly numbers?
Probably in the 280, 290 region if you do 15% transmission loss. It's hard to say, but...
Complete guess, as you said before.
Yeah, but I'd say that's a reasonable number.
Wow.
So yeah, good going, good car.
So we got 204 when it first came in, 219 was the most we could get with the filters on, and 245 is what we just got then without the filters on. And you can see the 3 lines there, green being when we first came in, red being with the filters on, and then blue being with the filters off. So there's a good comparison here between my Supra at the top, the 245, and another person's Supra. That's an NA Supra. It is an auto, but it should give you a fairly similar power figure. And you can see the difference in the graph there. So it's just towards the top end there where mine starts to go a lot steeper, the curve there, whereas that one flattens out. Really interesting comparison, that. Just put a new oil cap on there, just because you can see it's been leaking a little bit out the side there, so hopefully a new oil cap and the seal on there should help that out a bit. Looks a bit smarter too. So it's thermostat time now. They're just going to change the thermostat and see if that solves the cold running issue, and hopefully also solves the over-fueling issue. So we are stuck open, right?
Yeah, stuck open, and look at
And
the
then
rubber.
that rubber's knackered as well.
And the other thing you want to do as well is when you fit these,
Yeah.
you see that little air hole?
Yeah.
That has to be aligned up with that mark in there. Alright, and then that will be at the top of the housing.
Yeah.
And when you fill it, that will be where the air comes out. If you fit them to the bottom, it never gets any air
Yeah.
on the top of it.
Okay,
We'll
good
change
to know.
that. That is an 82 degrees, that one.
Is that good or not good?
It's a stock temperature.
Okay. So at least I technically put the right one in.
Yes, you did.
That's good.
Technically put the right one in. But obviously just failed because it's a non-genuine part.
Yeah.
You know, there's a stock one, it's a lot stronger spring there.
Yeah, you can see that, can't you?
So, yeah, that's what
Alright. So it's good to know that that's what that problem was.
Yeah.
So whilst Ash is sorting out the thermostat now, just fitting a new one, an OEM spec one, Mike has potentially found at least one of the issues with the heating system. Well, Mike, what have you found?
So the heater control unit has basically got a number of servos on them that control different flaps according to when you either want more or less temperature or more or less fan speed in the cabin, and one of them is just outright missing. So there's a dangling plug for it,
And nothing
but nothing to plug it into, and that is one of the error codes we're getting. So
Mike's just going to grab the spare heater box and plug it in and see if that solves anything, fixes anything, see what we're dealing with from there. This is why you come to a Supra specialist to sort these kind of things out. As much as, you know, a lot of mechanics are very, very competent, they won't just have a Supra part lying around that you can just replace straight away. And it's exactly the same thing we have with the thermostat. They just happen to have a Toyota thermostat lying around that we could just pop in. So, yeah, amazing. So this is why you come to SRD, isn't it?
This is why you come to SRD, because you get all the information as well, and these are very, very hard to find. So these have been with the company for 15 years, but any information that you need for the Mark IV Supra will be in these books.
There you go, and that's what we've been trying to diagnose our air conditioning issue with.
Active front spoiler, supplement restraint systems, and there's just everything in here you would ever want. Yeah, so this is the IS, so the intercooler is as wide as the front of the car. It fits behind the stock bumper.
And what brake did you reckon it is?
This will do like 850 wheel at 1000 crank.
And it looks like a fairly standard IS from the site, bar the huge front brakes and wheels.
Yeah, cool car, really cool car. Looking forward to doing that one. Still no go.
Ah?
Still no go.
No.
So in the spirit of nothing ever being too easy with my cars, it looks like the dash loom is incorrect for the car. So basically it's a nest of wires behind the dashboard. I don't even want to show you on camera, it's quite horrendous. So it looks like 2 dash looms have been like spliced together. So it's just an absolute mess in there, and would be not very cost effective to go through all of the wires and try and work it out. So in terms of today, we'll probably park it there and reconvene at a later date. Maybe it might be worth me trying to source a dash loom. Yeah, for now we're just gonna leave that because I don't think there's anything we can do with it now or within the next week, even if I left it here. The last thing to do is just to take the car out for a quick drive, make sure that the map is all good and I'm happy with everything, and then we are done for the day. So we've just been for a quick drive then. It feels amazing. It feels really, really like refined. Everything seems to run really smoothly. Before it was a little unruly, I'd say is the term. It would idle a bit lumpy. When you set off, it would be a bit jerky. That has all been ironed out by everything that Mike's done today. The temperature is rock solid in the centre, which is amazing, which it wasn't doing before. It wasn't getting up to temperature unless I was sat at a set of traffic lights or whatever. So it ran 245 horsepower at the wheels. So we would guess somewhere around 280 horsepower at the fly. Really happy with that result. Before it made 258 at the fly. That was an estimated fly because you never really know for sure, and 220 at the wheels, so we've got 25 horsepower extra out of it, which is pretty big. Incredible stuff. I can't thank the guys at SRD enough. So that is Lee, that is Ash and Mike. All the guys at SRD have done an amazing job today. They've had everything that I needed to do. Obviously the dash loom is something that we're going to have to look into doing in the future to try and get that heating sorted finally. But yeah, apart from that, everything has been sorted, so super happy, and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't, then don't bother. See you soon.